2 uploads in one day, something I bet you weren't expecting, but I will admit it's a little bit of a taster for what's to come in just 3 weeks when the 2024 Farnborough Air Show commences. But don't worry, there is a reason why I'm coming to you with a second, more emergency video. That is because of some breaking news that I personally feel like deserves its own video. After quite a lot of deliberation and also negotiations, Boeing has formally announced its agreement with Spirit AeroSystems to acquire the company officially. The merger, which again, I'll state, has long been discussed, is an all-stock transaction with an equity value of USD 4.7 billion or $37.25 per share. This USD. The total transaction value, however, will reach near double that, USD 8.3 billion. This actually reflects the latest net debt that was reported by Spirit. Behind the transaction, Boeing says each share of Spirit common stock will be exchanged for a number of shares of Boeing common stock. The American plane maker believes that such a deal is in the best interests of not just the flying public, but its airline customers who have been very critical of it, and the employees of what is still two very much leading aviation companies. The American plane maker says it can align its commercial production system with many more through reintegration with Spirit. Boeing highlights its under-fire safety and quality management systems, which has received a lot of critique across the last 6 months. This arguably under fire the most following that door blowout incident and everything that has come since then. The purchase will also include all of Boeing's related commercial operations, defense and aftermarket operations too. Boeing says it plans to continue to work with Spirit to ensure the continuity of the customers and programs that it does look to acquire. And this stretches to working with the US Department of Defense and defense-related customers too. Furthermore, Boeing says that its workforce will now share the same priorities, incentives, and hopefully from there, outcomes, with a paramount focus on the safety and quality of everything that is being built. Outgoing Boeing CEO Dave Calhoun was front and center for the announcement, and despite a lot of people against him, he's stated on numerous occasions that he's committed to helping the turnaround at Boeing for as long as he remains in the role, which won't be too much longer as the plane maker searches for his successor. Meanwhile, over at Spirit, their CEO says that the decision to move forward with the integration at Boeing follows careful evaluations of the offers that were put forward to them, and they believe that the combination is in the best interests of all involved and will benefit all shareholders and other related stakeholders. The vision is that with greater integration between the two companies, they'll see assets shared, and therefore a greater focus on key elements such as your safety and quality, which has gone missing from Boeing for quite some time. As part of the announcement, Boeing actually stated that Airbus and Spirit AeroSystems had also entered into a binding term sheet, which would see Airbus acquire certain commercial work packages that Spirit performed for the plane maker concurrently with Boeing, and this will be done at the closing of the Boeing and Spirit merger, so Airbus won't necessarily lose out to that part of the work that was done for them. Spirit has stated it will look to sell certain elements of its operations, including that of Belfast in Northern Ireland, Prestwick, Scotland, and a location in Malaysia. Ultimately, the hope is the transaction will close in mid-2025, but will very much be the subject of the sale of Spirit and all related regulatory approval, alongside shareholder approval that must come. Spirit says it's proud of the work that it's done with Airbus through the years, and believes that through the planned selling off in good faith of assets, it'll still be able to aid Airbus as it transitions to Boeing's ownership and takeover. This is a pretty big development, considering Boeing and Spirit AeroSystems have really been in hot water in the last 6 months with the key focus on your safety and quality. And while this announcement is still very raw, I would like to hear your opinions, maybe your just more immediate reaction. Do you believe the coming together of these two is something that needs to happen to ensure Boeing can move forward in a more positive direction? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I will promise this time for sure that the regular news recaps will commence in just over 12 hours. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you then.